Hello and welcome back to the Draw a Fair to Green podcast. In this past week in the golf world, it was pretty busy. Not the biggest tournaments, but still an exciting week over on the European Tour, LPGA Tour, and the PGA Tour had an event, but not a sanctioned PGA Tour event. We're going to start with the European Tour. There were two events this weekend, one in Australia and one down in South Africa. So they're just beginning their 2025, 2026 season. The first one we're going to talk about is the DP World Tour's stop in Australia. So they've been in Australia for a couple of weeks. This one is the Crown Australian Open. This is the second straight week they've played in Australia, kind of starting their season off. They start in Australia, then they go to South Africa for a couple of weeks, and then they get a little bit of a break, and then they kick back up, whereas the PGA Tour doesn't start back up till January. So this tournament, a lot of big-name players in the field. Rory McIlroy was in the field. A lot of the top Australian players that you saw, Cam Smith, Adam Scott, Minwoo Lee, all in the field, kind of like it's their major championship as an Australian golfer. This is the tournament that the Australians want to win. It was held at Royal Melbourne Golf Course, which is, again, one of the nicest golf courses in the world and one of the nicest golf courses in Australia. And it may not even be the best one in a couple-mile radius, because I know Kingston Heath is down there as well, and players rave about that. But it was a great tournament. Rasmus Højgaard picked up his first career win. He had a two-stroke lead heading into the day over Cam Smith, the kind of hometown favorite. So Højgaard kind of was working against the crowd. Obviously, the Australians want one of their own to win, and Cam Smith is as popular as they come down there. Is probably the best Australian player right now. I know he won the British Open a couple years ago. Hasn't really played all that well in majors since then. Obviously, he's on the LIV Tour as part of the Team Australian team over there. I think it's like Ripper GC. Heading to the 18th tee, they were tied, though, and it looked like it was Cam Smith after their approach shots. He hit the middle of the green. Højgaard left himself a horrendous chip shot. He flared his shot to the right, kind of landed on this like little island in between bunkers, green side where to flop over the bunker and hit that one to about 6 feet. Rolled out a little, I think 10, 12 feet, and made that for par. And Cam Smith, who is usually one of the best putters in the world, three-putted from like 30 feet. He had a 5-foot par putt, and he just missed it and gave Højgaard his first career win. So kind of shocking watching that. Once Smith hit the green, I was like, oh, this is over. It's his. Højgaard not going to be able to get it close. And he stepped up and made the biggest putt of his life. Now, he's played well all year, Højgaard. He was kind of one of the last one's out of the Ryder Cup. He was probably like 13th, 14th. If Rasmus Højgaard doesn't get one of those captain's pick, I wouldn't have been shocked if it was him. I know Aaron Rai was in that discussion too, a recent winner on the DP World Tour as well. But good for Højgaard. He also has his PGA Tour card. He was one of the 10 European players to gain their PGA Tour card from playing well on the DP World Tour. So we're going to see a lot more of him, as now he has dual membership with the DP World Tour and PGA Tour. So that was a great tournament. Again, great crowd. I think I read the DP World Tour tweeted out that that was the most attended golf course in Australia, or golf tournament in Australia ever. So great. Australia loves their golf. I know the President's Cup there a couple of years ago, well, 2019 now, so not a couple of years ago, was great. Tiger was the captain of that team. And again, that was at Royal Melbourne as well. So again, more tournaments, got to go to Australia. I know there's been talk about how do we get other countries involved. I know LIV does a really big tournament down there, like they're equivalent to the PGA Tour's TPC Sawgrass or TPC Scottsdale is down in Australia, because the Australians love their golf and they get pretty rowdy, especially when one of their own are in contention. So again, pretty good start for the DP World Tour. And then their other tournament was the Nedbank Golf Challenge over in South Africa in honor of Gary Player. And that was won by Kristoff Reitan, who claimed his second DP World Tour. He began the day with a 5-shot lead, and really struggled during the fourth round, brought his playing competitors in, but he did end up winning. Again, second career win. He also has PGA Tour. He also earned his PGA Tour card this past season while playing well. So another dual membership person. So again, for the DP World Tour, it's kind of tough. They're in a hard spot. I know there's been talk about it lately. I know other people are like, are we giving too many PGA Tour cards? Are we not giving enough? If we're taking 10 guys from the DP World Tour, what's left on their tour? I mean, we're taking their 10 best guys from last year. And yes, they have dual membership, but when it comes down to it, a lot of them are going to play the PGA Tour. The purses are larger. You're going to get better golf courses. You're going to get just better results in the end. Again, it's tough to take the 10 best players, and you're going to see some players still go over in there and play. I know the Genesis Scottish Open always has a lot of PGA Tour players. I know that's kind of like a co-sanctioned event between the two tours, but it's tough for the DP World Tour when, again, their 10 best are leaving. And yes, some of them may play a shared schedule, but for the most part, they're going to lean on playing the PGA Tour. I mean, we've seen in the past where people get their PGA Tour card from the DP World Tour and they come over and they play, like Matthew Pavon a couple years ago. He played more on the PGA Tour. He wins the Farmers Insurance and then finishes high at the U.S. Open. I know he didn't have a great year this past year, but he was one that didn't really play both tours. Again, not many of them do. I know more so after the Ryder Cup they will play and kind of get those tournaments in where they have to meet the requirement of playing so many tournaments to keep their DP World Tour card to make them eligible for the Ryder Cup. But it's a tough position for the European Tour. Again, these young players, Marco Penge, who's young, Ho-Tung Lee, another one who earned his PGA Tour card, that kind of been great for the European Tour. I mean, Marco Penge winning 3 times, that's great that he's a good young player, and now he's just gone. And yes, he'll play, but not enough. That's not his full-time tour, so it kind of stinks for the European Tour. But again, also I thought it was weird that they have 2 tournaments going on this week at the same time. I know the one's bigger than the other, but still interesting that the DP World Tour would have these kind of 2 tournaments playing at the same time. I don't know what the reasoning is. I know with the schedule, and they play, I think, 40-plus tournaments over there, so you're going to probably have some weeks where they play double, and this is one of the weeks. I wish kind of maybe the Nedbank was this week, give the Australian Open its own and get even more top players there. But with the scheduling, I'm sure that's how it has to work out. Again, like I said, the PGA Tour had an event, the Hero World Challenge, not a sanctioned event. The players still do earn world ranking points, but the money earned from this tournament does not go to the PGA Tour earnings because, again, it's not a PGA Tour win. And Hideki Matsuyama came up on top. He won his second Hero World Challenge title here. He beat Alex Norton in a playoff. It kind of looked like Sepp Straka was going to take it. He started the day, I think it was a 1 or 2 shot lead over Scotty Scheffler, and neither Scotty or Sepp really ever got it going. Alex Norton hit a crucial birdie putt on the last hole to tie Matsuyama and 8 under to get into the playoff. And then Hideki on the first playoff hole makes birdie to win, defeats Alex Norton by 1. Again, second time winning. Good for Hideki, who started the year with a win down in the Sony, or down at the Tournament of Champions at the Century, and then finishes his 2025 season with another win. So good for him. Again, one of the best players in the world. I mean, his iron game is great. Obviously, probably the most decorated Japanese and best Japanese player ever to play on the men's side. Winning that Masters kind of solidified that. Just a really good overall player. Again, 20-player field, not the biggest field. Scotty Scheffler, the defending champ the last 2 years, he finishes 4 shots back. Other than that, pretty chill day. Nothing really crazy happened there. Again, good for Hideki, kind of closing out his season with a win after starting it with a win. Now the PGA Tour is off. Really, they don't play again until the Sony Open in Hawaii until January, so it gives these players some time off. Over on the LPGA, there was no tournaments, but there was qualifying school. So that was for these women golfers trying to get a DP World Tour card, an LPGA Tour card for the year. It was down in Mobile, Alabama. A marathon of a day. I know there was tons of weather, so it was postponing, canceling rounds, pushing them back, starting late. But after a marathon day on Sunday, 31 women secured their LPGA Tour card. Some of them will be LPGA Tour rookies this year. Some of them are ladies who have lost status and regained it. The medalist honor went to a German golfer, Helen Brem. She's 20 years old. And if history repeats itself, last year, the medalist person here was Miyu Yamashita, and we all know what happened this year. She was probably the second best player on the LPGA Tour all year. She won a major championship. She won LPGA Tour Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. She was second behind Gino Titakun for the LPGA Tour Player of the Year. So the future is bright for this 20-year-old. Really good swing, fast, hits it a long way, and kind of a sneaky pick for the Solheim Cup maybe next year if she provides some good play here in the LPGA Tour season. So again, great for these lady golfers. Again, to get your card to earn status is one of the hardest things to do, especially if you're a young rookie, and then almost as hard as if you've lost status and then earning it back to play. I know the Epson Tour is similar to like the Korn Ferry Tour. It's just tough to grind out there with not ideal conditions like the LPGA Tour and come back and win. So congratulations to all those ladies securing their LPGA Tour card. I know, I think today or tomorrow we're going to have some articles kind of looking through all the women who clinched their card for this next year. So check in on that on the Fairway to Green website and get some information on that as well. This upcoming week, it's a slow week on the DP World Tour. There's an event down in South Africa again at Royal Johannesburg Club. It is the Alfred Dunhill Championship. Not as great fields as the last two DP World Tour events last week. Again, a lot of South Africans in the field, which makes sense. A lot of LIV golfers as well, kind of with their season not in play right now. They're earning those world ranking points. I saw Sergio Garcia's in the field, Louis Oosthuizen's in, Eugenio Chichara, just to name a couple of those LIV golfers in there. And then a lot of other golfers who are just banking these points for the race to Dubai, getting their points in for the year, kind of getting a head start over everyone. So again, not the best field. You'll be able to check that out. I'm sure Golf Channel will have some coverage. But again, that's the DP World Tour. Over on the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour, we have the Grant Thornton Invitational. So this is a group tournament, so it pairs one PGA Pro and LPGA Pro together, and they play 3 rounds of golf. It's actually at the same course where the CME Group Tour Championship was a couple years ago. So Tubarão Golf Club down in Naples. Again, there's there's a good amount of teams. I want to say it is, let's see, I'm just going to read the team names because I know I did this a couple weeks ago, but to give you a refresher, Michael Brennan and Charlie Hall. So Michael Brennan is a recent winner on the PGA Tour. He won those 3 times on the PGA Tour Canada Series. He's coming off a win down or over in Utah. So that's a good pair. Bud Cauley, Jessica Corder, that's another one. Luke Clanton, Lottie Wood, may be my favorite team in this entire tournament. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think you have the young stud in Luke Clanton, another young stud in Lottie Wood, that they're just like, yeah, let's just pair 2 of the best young players on each tour together and see how it goes. and I'm so excited to watch that team. I think it's going to be fantastic golf between those two, and I love the PGA and LPGA Tour kind of leaning into the youth movement, not putting them with veterans, just saying, here, you two young pros, you go join and see what happens. I love that. Absolutely great job by the LPGA and PGA Tour with that group. Wyndham Clark, Lexi Thompson, major champions, good. Wyndham Clark, kind of disappointing year, so let's see if he bounces back. Canadian team, Corey Connors, Brooke Henderson, great pairing. Corey Connors is one of the best ball strikers on the PGA Tour. Brooke Henderson is the best women's Canadian golfer ever, so that's going to be a great pairing. Jason Day, Lydia Ko, another major champion pairing, great. Tony Finau, Lilia Vu, good. Chris Gotterup, Jennifer Kupcho, Tom Hoagie, Angel Yin, Billy Horschel, Andrea Lee, Michael Kim, Rose Zhang, Jake Knapp, and Patty Tavatanakit, the defending champs from last year. So we'll see if they can repeat. Denny McCarthy, Nelly Corder. So Denny gets to play with one of the best women golfers in the world right now. Denny McCarthy is one of the best putters. That could be a sneaky good team. Keith Mitchell, Megan Kahn, Andrew Novak, Lauren Coughlin, Neil Shipley, Maja Stark, another young team that I love. Neil Shipley earning his PGA Tour card this year via the Korn Ferry Tour. Again, it's a great team event. I wish there was more of it. I know it's hard with the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour schedule, but maybe put this in the middle of the summer as a break, just while golf is popular, because I don't know how many people are going to tune in. I'm going to watch. It's an interesting format. Each day is a different format. I'll run through that real quick for you. So the first day, round 1, Friday, it's 3 rounds only, not 4 rounds. So Friday is a scramble. Each player hits a tee shot. Then they select the ball from there. The players hit their next shot. We've all done a scramble. That process is continuing until it's holed. Again, pretty simple, easy scramble format. On Saturday, it's alternate shot. So one person tees off even, one person tees up from the odds, and they alternate until the ball is holed. Again, pretty basic. They do that in the Ryder Cup, do it in the Solheim Cup. The last day is interesting. It's modified 4-ball. So both players will tee off, and then after that, they will switch for their second shots and play that same ball until it's holed. The lowest score of the two partners is counted as a team score for the hole. So again, that's a little different. I like that. Again, great tournament. It's definitely interesting, and I think it's great for the game of golf. The women know the golf course. Like I said, they played there a couple weeks ago. A lot of these players have played in this event before, so it's nothing new to them, nothing crazy. Now, on the PGA Tour, just like the LPGA Tour, there's qualifying school this week. It's a little different, whereas the LPGA Tour got, I think it was top 25 in ties earn their LPGA Tour card. For PGA Tour, it's not that simple. It's only 5 cards given out, 5 in ties. So again, not a lot. Last year, Lanto Griffin, he won, so he earned his card. There's some big names in this kind of qualifying school losing their card. I mean, the most notable one is probably Adam Hadwin, who's been on the tour forever. PGA Tour winner. He's from Canada. He's kept his card. I think it was something crazy like 10, 12 years in a row. And he was one of the rare ones who had exemptions into some of the signature events and just didn't have a good year. He was leading one of the tournaments a couple weeks ago and couldn't kind of close it out. So unfortunate for him. So he's back at Q School. Again, it's a long drag of a couple days. It's down at TPC Ponte Verde down there. So we'll see that. Again, not as many cards as the LPGA. The whole system of the PGA Tour cards, I know there's been a lot of talk about that in recent weeks with, are we not having enough? I know they cut down from 125 to 100. They are only giving out 20 cards from the Korn Ferry Tour, not 25 anymore. They're taking 10 from the Europeans. They're giving 5 from the qualifying school. So again, it's tough, especially with these signature events. I know all the talk recently is about the PGA Tour and their changing schedule. How is that going to work? Are they going to change it? I know the rumors are that they're going to start till after Super Bowl season, condense the year, cut events. People have mixed opinions. People have given their different types of what it should look like. Should the signature events go away? Sounds like they may be going away in a couple of years, which is interesting. I know we talked about the LIV Golf a couple weeks ago with Brian, how they are going from 54 holes to 72 holes. So is that merger coming? We still haven't really heard anything about that. I know the new PGA Tour CEO, Brian Rolap, is big. He was with the NFL. The NFL does great with making money and kind of their schedules. So what does he learn from the NFL and bring it to the PGA Tour? That'll be interesting. But again, a lot going on in the golf world news-wise. The PGA Tour announced the PGA Tour Player of the Year nominees. It's Ben Griffin, Tommy Fleetwood, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. All except Tommy have won multiple times. Again, it's going to come down to Scotty or Rory. And I think Scotty's going to win with 2 majors and 2 other wins. But again, Ben Griffin has 3 wins. Tommy Fleetwood, it was great all year, and he won the Tour Championship. Rory McIlroy completed the Grand Slam. He won the Players. He won AT&T. So he also won some big-time events as well. I'm sure Scotty does not care. I know Scotty cares more about the wins and more about his family. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure Scotty will walk away with that for the 3rd year in a row here in a couple of weeks when it's announced. As far as some other news, I was reading and we were talking about DP World Tour. They sent 10 guys over to the PGA Tour. One of those is Laurie Cantor, and he's a fascinating story. When I was reading about him, he was on the DP World Tour, played some PGA Tour events, went to LIV, lost his LIV Tour. He just got relegated. So then he played on the DP World Tour this past year. He won, played really well, earned his PGA Tour card via the top 10 promotion from DP World Tour to the PGA Tour. And then a week or so after that, announces he signs back with LIV. I thought that was really interesting because I wanted to see him play on the PGA Tour. No one who's played on the LIV Tour has played as a PGA Tour as a full-time member. They just played the majors, and he would have been the first. So it would have been really interesting to see if the PGA Tour would have allowed him to do that, would have allowed someone who played on the LIV Tour, never had PGA Tour status before, so he was never suspended. He earned his PGA Tour card via the promotion from the DP World Tour. So what would they have done? I'm sure they would have let him play because he earned it. They weren't going to suspend him. They weren't going to let him sit for a couple of weeks. But it's all kind of a moot point because he decides to go to LIV again. So I thought that was interesting. And the other interesting thing with LIV recently, I think came out the other day, Brooks Koepka, unhappy with LIV. There are rumors he may sit out, even though he's signed through the 2026 season over at LIV. So that'll be an interesting thing to follow. I know people are saying, and I read the one Golf Digest article, and they said the PGA Tour should let him come back, let him sit, let him serve a suspension, tell him he already did, or let him sit this year, and then give him full-time status back next year. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't even know if these rumors are true, if he's unhappy. But the comments made by the new LIV CEO, Scott O'Neill, the other day about not discussing anyone, but he is under contract for the next year, is interesting. Again, are we ever going to see a merger? I mean, it's been years. Who knows? I know the new CEO of both LIV and PGA Tour, have they talked? I don't know. What's the best for the golf moving forward? Again, all these interesting things that I don't think are going to be discussed right now. I think the PGA Tour is more focused on their scheduling, keeping their players, all their signature event stuff. They've added new events here this year in the fall, and a new signature event down in Florida, Trump Doral. So I think the PGA Tour is more focused on that. They're really not focused on this merger, coming to agreement with LIV. LIV is still trying to earn the golf world ranking points. Switching to 72 holes maybe gives them some more leverage in getting those points. But again, we'll see. I thought it was funny that the Grant Hero World Challenge 20-player field, they are getting world ranking points for that. So if LIV can't get world ranking points after switching to 72 holes, I'm really not sure what we're doing here. I think they probably deserve world ranking points at this point. They have some good golfers. Obviously, Jon Rahm, Cam Smith, Joaquin Niemann, who's been great over there. I mean, then they have Bryson DeChambeau. They have Dustin Johnson. They have Koepka, like we've mentioned. They have some good young players. I know David Puig won over on the DP World Tour a couple weeks ago. He's a good young player. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't think anything is going to happen here near in the future. That's unfortunate because, again, I think like a lot of you, I think I want to see the best players. I want to see the DeChambeaus, the Koepkas, the Dustin Johnsons, the Niemanns, the Cam Smiths playing these events over on the PGA Tour, just so we get the best golfers playing against each other more than 4 times a year, because the majors are great, but as a golf fan, as an avid golf watcher, like most of you are probably, I'd say just let's figure it out and get these 2 tours combined. So those are the events for this next week. We'll probably be on here one more time before we take a little break before the holidays to discuss all the events this week, the Q School, the DP World Tour event, and the Grant Thornton Invitational. Next week, we'll discuss all those. Like I said, as we wrap up here, the new year's going to start, so we'll get into more of the upcoming year. We'll start to review or preview what's coming for the LPGA, PGA Tour, look into those major championships a little for both, and then discuss any other news that comes out, again, with scheduling, players, and stuff like that. Again, go to our website, read our articles, fairwaytogreen.com. We have a bunch of coverage on LPGA, DP World Tour, Ladies European Tour, any news that coming out. I know the PGA shows in about a month or so here, so we're going to have a lot of stuff coming on the website from there as well, lining up some interviews and some cool stuff for that as well that we can bring to you over on our website. Again, like and subscribe on YouTube, comment anything golf related, like is the LIV PGA Tour, do you think they're going to merge? What will it look like? And then follow us, give us a review where you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever else you get them. Please continue to do that for us, and we will see you next week. Enjoy the golf.